Hey, all my worthy viewers, it's me, JD Review Master, and this is Worth the View Movies. And today I'm bringing to you a movie that is an international sort of hit from the same director of Drive My Car. And to talk with me about Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy is Rob from Robbie's Reviews. Take it away, Rob.
Hello, Justin. So today I watched Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy to prepare for this chat we're going to have. This is an anthology about these three different women and their relationships. I wasn't as gripped with this film. I thought it was more better made than Drive My Car. I'm not really keen on this director's films because they seem to be all slow and long-winded, even though they look beautifully stunning. And don't get me wrong, I love Japanese stuff like with Seven Samurai anime films. Obviously, I love Studio Ghibli, and I love Battle Royale. It's one of the best films ever made. But with when it comes to this director, he likes to make more slow and like winding down kind of films. And personally, they're just not my cup of tea. I will give this a 4 star for the effort, but overall, it's just not my cup of tea. What did you think to this, Justin?
Yeah, I agree. This was a slog. It is just, I mean, how can Drive My Car be 3 hours long and that be a little bit more interesting than 2 hours of Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy? Honestly, this movie just didn't grip me at all. I didn't care for any of the characters. We're kind of thrown into this world that they don't really explain too much of, and then we're just
No.
supposed to accept that these relationships are something that we should care about, and I just didn't. And I think it's cool that they tell it in sort of an anthology sort of way, but it's still kind of confusing. I mean, even that third little block, I just thought was the worst of the three, to be honest.
I
But
know you weren't big on the French Dispatch, but the French Dispatch was a lot better than that.
Well, yeah, it was more entertaining and more characters to kind of follow. And these performances were fine, but I think the performances in French Dispatch had, some better ones.
A 1,000% better.
Yeah, the second one with the girl trying to be sexually enticing to the professor was kind of uncomfortable. I'm sure that this,
Writing
has.
wise, that was probably the strongest out of three bad stories.
Yes, and so yeah, we can talk about the good things. I think that the writing was really good. Obviously, it's international and we don't understand it, but I thought it worked out really well, and I was engaged in what she was saying. It was just a little uncomfortable, and you can tell that the professor was uncomfortable too, and she kind of like forced that whole situation on him. And I feel like in 2022, when we're trying not to be sexually aggressive and assault in a way, we shouldn't be glorifying this in any sort of way. So I think that that is something that would
I still think the best international film of the year so far for me is Worst Person in the World.
yeah, well, we haven't had our batch yet, but since you got that one late, that was a part of last year's bundle. But and this was a 2021 film too, so it doesn't even count for this year. But yeah, I think the writing was great, and he loves his one takes. Like the first scene when we see the girls in the car that
This
are talking.
actually this actually came out before Drive My Car as well.
Right. So yeah, he has these long shots where they just sit and talk for 10, 15 minutes straight without even moving, and that's interesting, and it's hard to do because as a production crew, as an actor, to be able to go for 10 minutes straight, without a sip of water or whatever, like sometimes it can be it's difficult. So I give them credit for that. But for the movie overall, I'm giving it in a WT. I think the feed itself was fine. I know what they were going for. It just didn't work out for me. And especially when you have an Academy Award winning movie like Drive My Car to follow this, I mean, it just, one's way more of an epic and fluid than this one is. But
See, I found this one more interesting than Drive My Car. Drive My Car I found very boring.
yeah, I know that you did not like that one, but yeah, Raisuke Hamaguchi is the director. He won Best International Film for Drive My Car, so we decided to talk about another one of his movies, and yeah, just didn't work out for us in this one. It sounds like.
No.
Um, But yeah, he has another one called Happy Hour. Maybe we should check that one out and see what that is.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez Louise. It's a 2015 movie. It's 5 hours and 17 minutes.
This must be his worst film to date.
So we're not doing that. We're
No.
not doing unless this one works out really well. But yeah, Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy, it's definitely worth the view because to keep going on his sort of filmography here, it has, it's told in 3 short stories, and we get another cold open from him like we did in Drive My Car.
Yeah.
It's like a 38-minute cold open. So, but yeah, any last words about this one?
Yes, if you like anthology films or Japanese films, I would say check this out just to see what it's like. It's on Mubi, the streaming service. So if you have Mubi, check it out on that. We don't sponsor Mubi, unfortunately, so we can't offer a discount. But yeah, go on the Mubi and check it out if you have Mubi. I wish I did.
Yeah, I think that's one of the ones that you can get through your, is it your library? I don't know. But it's also on the Criterion Collection here in the States. So you can check that out as well. But yeah, thank you so much, Rob, for joining me for this, worth of you movie. Where can people find you?
People can find me at Robbie Reviews. That's robbiereviews.co.uk. And you can join me and Justin on the Fleming Film Show, where we're going to be counting down our worst and our best episodes over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, our worst movies of the year and our favorite movies of the year so far. So we will be doing that. And yeah, go check out Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy. It's worth a view. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Justin.